Fuck a social media, my fave is my accountant. Told my son be good, now he getting the allowance. Talk my shit, fuck what niggas ain't allowing. Born this way, been had the spark. Raised by the wolves, wonder why I bark. Tearing through everything, don't need sight to fight. Take nothing for granted, it's by faith, not by sight. Been there, done that, kick ass, questions later. Ask your man sis, tell him I'm all out of flavors. They love how I taste, but ain't no now or later. But ain't no now or later. Starseed, yeah, I know who I am. Since 87, knew I was a star. Had the confidence, bitch, yeah, I was born a star. Life with no moms or pops, the world raised me. I hope you don't have to find out the world raised me. Took everything from me, gotta earn my respect. Motherfuckers crazy, do anything for a check. Spirit is my guide, keep my ego in check. Ain't seeking no validation, I do this on my own. Got a team though, when I'm not home. Still gon' ride even when I'm gone. Went out to Cali, didn't sell my soul. Close my eyes, meditate, I was on a roll. Now I take my time, it's chestnut checkers, queen shit. Negotiate everything, nothing lesser. Yeah, I know who I am. 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 Starseed. Yeah, I know who I am. I am. Got rid of these niggas, now I'm counting. Fuck a social media, my fave is my accountant. Told my son be good, now he getting the allowance. Talk my shit, fuck what niggas ain't allowing. Born this way, been had the spark. Raised by the wolves, wonder why I bark. Tearing through everything, don't need sight to fight. Take nothing for granted, it's by faith, not by sight. Been there, done that, kick ass, questions later. Ask your man sis, tell him I'm all out of flavors. They love how I taste, but ain't no now or later. But ain't no now or later. Starseed, yeah, I know who I am. Since 87, knew I was a star. Had the confidence, bitch, yeah, I was born a star. Life with no moms or pops, the world raised me. I hope you don't have to find out the world raised me. Took everything from.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for everybody that's tuned in today. Today we are learning about what happens when shit happens, and we have the ever legendary Vegan and Beauties.
Hello, how are you? This is just like every day.
Boss. No, I'm not back in California yet. I am in Chi-Town. That is where I'm at, you guys. We have a great show for you guys today. We took our time to go through some things. We know like the fires recently happened, but there are things that happen every day. And as the title says, shit happens, right? So when shit happens, do you know what to do when shit happens? I honestly don't 100% know. So we have Vague here to let us know what to do in case shit happens. We have a list of things to go through with you guys today. We also have some Amazon things that we're going to drop in the chat. That way, if you hear something here that you may think you need or don't have and want to go out and grab, we'll have a link for you guys to grab it. And hopefully you guys, this is part one. So we're going to start out a little smaller today with just the basics of shit's happening, like your lights going out, or you losing just anything can happen, right? So Vague is going to walk us through this because I'm learning just as you guys are learning. So Vague, question: how do you know about being prepared? Have you been through some shit, or what's been going on? Talk to us.
So I am also from California, or you've lived there, and I'm from there.
Yes, ma'am.
And we had a lot of earthquakes and whatnot. And my father was the head of the emergency preparedness program for our church and also for the county of San Diego.
Mm.
And so he did a lot of ham radio, a lot of classes, a lot of teaching.
Back to the ham radio.
But we're not going to go there yet. That's
what's needed, though.
Yes. 100%. Communication is a very, very big part of emergency preparedness. And unfortunately, it's not the first two obstacles that you have to overcome, but it is nice to know how to use. And I think it's really necessary to know. I hate to admit this, but I'm going to. I do not have my ham radio license.
You need a license for that.
You do need a license for ham radio. And there's I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's 3 different levels. There's like amateur. Don't quote me on this.
You're not quoting us.
I should know this because I did grow up in I should know Morse code family, but I don't. But I didn't hear it. A whole bunch of ham radios.
Okay.
We had a huge antenna in our backyard.
Oh, like huge. One of those that they have in the back with the lines in it or whatever. That thing.
It was just one big antenna.
Right.
And so when there are fires, because California we have a lot of fires, my dad would get everyone in the county situated so that they had somewhere to go. He was on a ham radio with fire. He was on the ham radio with all sorts of different people trying to help find places that people could get to be safe. Okay. And in fact, that includes like your animals. And so where I lived, I was more East County. And if you go farther east from where I lived, there's a lot of horses and stuff. So finding places that can hold horses. And so it's part of emergency preparedness. There's a lot to it, especially when you're trying to help others.
Right. I know when I was a flight attendant, they used to say, put your mask on first and then help other people. So I definitely understand that, especially when we're talking about like the horses and all that. We want to make sure that we're straight first. We also always want to make sure that the animals are straight. That's the dogs, that's the hamsters, that's the horses, the pigs, the goats, all of them. We want to make sure that they're also taken care of.
Absolutely. Watching these fires in LA and you and I both have lived in LA, and it hits home to both of us.
Devastating.
I mean, we'll never see the places we used to see in the same way.
You're gonna be crying out. That was like.
What's sad is that I just found out that 4 of the people I worked with lost their homes in the Pacific Palisades, and it's thankfully they're okay, and that's what people need to. I think the biggest thing about emergency preparedness is making sure you're okay and being able to forget about the material items. And there's ways to try and keep the material items that you really, really care for, like pictures and stuff like that.
Right.
And there's safes that go up to so much. I believe they like can go to a certain degree of heat, and there are safes that do that. But it's more about getting your family into the safe spot, getting your family where they need to go, making sure
preparing for that. I see a lot of times because I watch a lot of documentaries and a lot of different things, and being able to, once you have a home or you're in your home or just preparing for that, I think that I've seen a lot of people say, okay, we're going to meet at this place, or if we're, where we get, disconnected, we're going to, go here or there. And a lot of people don't have that. So when shit happens, it becomes chaos instead of organized chaos, where it's like, okay, we know we're going to do this, grab that bag, you already know, things of that nature. And so what I wanted to do with this segment, I'm putting together, as you know, a tribe called TRMF tribe. Um, and I want us to learn, because we're all going to learn together here. I want us to be able to learn various things. I wasn't going to talk about it, but it's like, if I don't talk about it, then how can anybody know, right? So I want us to all learn how to swim. I don't know how to swim. I want us to learn how to fight. I know how to fight, but there's a special way that you're able to fight. I want us to learn how to use weaponry. I want us to learn how to grow our own food, grow our own cannabis, just various things and skills rather, that I feel like everybody should have and know, in case shit happens. Do you know how to cut down a tree? Do you know how to start a fire? Do you know how to filter your water? Those things are very important, especially when we're in the climate that we're in today. These things were very important back then, but I think a lot of people got complacent and comfortable with having things done for them and given to them, and it's at your beck and call. You can just call 911 or call this and it'll just happen. But what happens when those things are not available? Or what happens when you're trying to build a tribe or community? Because that's the big thing now, right? Is having a community,
Right.
things of that nature. And I think that everybody should have the bare minimum skills. These are skills that I thought that, or I think that everybody in the world needs, right? But everybody's either A, not in that position to get those skills, or B, it's not a first thought because they can rely on other things. So
Well, you brought up something actually that I believe is probably one of the most important things that you just said.
Okay.
It's that we think we can call 911.
Mm.
And we think we can call the fire department.
Mm-hmm.
And we think that we're going to get help from our city, our county, our state.
Because
and
that's
maybe eventually you'll get a $700 check from FEMA.
$770.
Oh, I apologize. $770. Yes, that's correct.
Because they think you need, food and milk and baby food and formula, and that's it. $770 in 2025.
$770.
2 or 3 days. What happens after that?
They haven't seen my grocery bill lately.
Just that, right?
But what you just said really resonates with me, because even where I live, I get very irritated with the way the city and the way the state and the counties have their infrastructure. One of the biggest issues that we have is that if there is a natural disaster,
mm-hmm.
think about how many people live in your vicinity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are we all going to be able to actually get out? Think about the absolute gridlock. Think about being on the 405.
I saw the gridlock happening when the fire started, and not only the ones that were in the Palisades when they had to bulldoze all the cars, but up by Runyon's, because I'm always up. I'm in Cali. So as they came down right there, as you get to Hollywood Boulevard, and you're crossing and you're going down there, then it was, I think it's oh my God, it starts with the F. Franklin, I think the street. Regardless, that entire street was back to back. If you were coming off that mountain and coming out of that area, you weren't getting out because everybody's running at the same time. So I'd love to hear what you were having to say.
Yeah,
I just thought about that when you said that.
So I'll be honest, my husband is so upset about our particular infrastructure that he calls them every morning on his way to work or on his way to take our daughter to school. He calls them every day. And they are doing something, but it's a little too late because we just give permits to build more, permits to build here, permits to do this, because it brings in revenue. It brings in, tax money. But the most important thing is the safety of the public.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to be able to call 911. You're going to do it all yourself, because they're not coming for you. You have a stroke and it's mass chaos. No one's coming.
That's
because
why.
they're trying to do everything they can. I'm not saying that they're not, but they're only as big as they can be. I mean, I don't live somewhere where they've cut, $17 million from a budget, but you know,
The
you know,
one lady when I think she was in, I think it was the Altadena fight. I don't can't remember if it was Altadena or Palisades, but she had a disabled son that didn't want to leave, so she left because she could call
oh,
911, and obviously during that time they weren't available, and so she left to go to get 911 down the mountain. And when she got down there, they told her there was nothing they could do and they couldn't help. So then she went back up, and when she went back up, that's when they found her son had died in the fire, and just things like that. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional.
oh, okay.
Things like that.
Yeah,
But it's real. Like it's real. Like you think you can call 911 in any situation because that's what they're supposed to be there for, and
right.
that's not always the case. So when that's not the case, what do we do? What do we do?
Well, I, like we talked about, I broke this down into part one is going to be just the first two obstacles, and these two obstacles can be taken into a very serious weak situation. It could be taken into just a 2-day situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, where I'm at, we get tornadoes and we have horrible thunderstorms that will take out transformers.
Mm-hmm.
So the first obstacle is power. So um I lose in the summers, we have rolling blackouts. So like California, Nevada, and Texas, I'm sure there's more. In like Midwest area, I believe, have rolling blackouts.
We used to have them a lot back in the day, back in Chicago. We don't as much anymore, but we used to have them a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would love to be able to comment more on that, but I don't really know much about that. But I do know that it happens, and for the most part, a couple hours, no big deal. You try not to lose food, and so, but let's just say it becomes 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But you still want to be able to call people. You still need to get in touch with your husband because he's going to have to still probably go to work the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So, having the ability to, charge your phone or to keep your refrigerator going, possibly.
Refrigerator and deep freezer because they do not. In Chicago, I know they don't. Like say that happened, right? They'll tell you, "Oh, we're reimbursed," but I haven't met a soul that they've actually reimbursed for loss of food or any of that stuff. Especially
Nobody.
at
Yeah.
the stake of the city or the electric company or whatever cutting off the lights for whatever reason, when it comes to those blackouts. And it's like you said, 24 hours later, you've lost your food. And meat is not cheap and things of that nature. So how do you what would you tell somebody when it comes to that
There's a couple of different scenarios that you can go with. It depends on everything's always going to be financially, it depends on your financial situation. We have a mid-grade I'm sorry. We have a mid-grade can you scroll up? Hold on, I put it up there.
Yes.
Sorry about that. I should have done. Yeah, hold on.
Okay, hold on.
So I have a mid-grade power like supply. I'm sorry that I just lost my brain for a second. Words are hard. So I have a mid-grade power supply that I can just charge. I keep charged, and then I can charge my phones. I can charge, computers. I can charge my flashlights because flashlights are super important. And some flashlights you have to charge, some take batteries. And so that's I just have a mid-grade one. They make very expensive ones. I think there's something called the Jackery that is like in the thousands, and I don't have that. But I have one that will do, those things. I also have the solar accessory to that, so that in the daytime I can hook it up to it. I think it's the Yeti 500 that we have, which is a mid-grade in that, for that
Is that
type
on
of
here? Is
thing.
that on the list? I feel like
I believe it is. It's somewhere on that list. If you keep scrolling, hold on. It has like the solar accessory, so it does charge itself. It can charge itself if you've got enough sun.
okay, let me go find out while you keep talking.
No, it's fine. And so then I also have like a mid-grade generator, and it's a gas generator, and I will tell you that thing is loud.
Is
I
it?
mean, it's so loud.
Is that,
But the one
those are the ones that you use outside, correct? From
yes, you need to run it outside. And I will tell you, losing power in the winter when we had Snowmageddon,
mm-hmm.
what was it? I don't even remember what year it was. Was it 4 years ago?
Sandra, sorry.
I did not have power for 3 days.
Wow.
My bed was frozen. My actual bed was so hard.
Oh no.
The mattress, like, it was so weird.
Because there was no
It
heat, right? They like
there was no heat in our house was
yeah.
our house got to, like, 30 no, I'm probably that's not true. It had to have been, like, in the 40s. It was
Still cold.
really
Anything under
cold.
60 is cold as hell in a house.
It was I mean, things were like we were, like, built a tent in one of the rooms to try and keep heat in a tent. It got so cold, and, luckily, I'd gotten a cord of firewood, and, um and so we were able to get the fire going and everything, but, we were freezing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the people died because it was so cold,
Wow.
in their homes, the elderly
Wow.
and, babies. It was cold and, hey, thanks to all those windmills, but
Mm,
they didn't work then. But
right.
I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying, don't count on them if something is gonna freeze.
Overstood. I've done a lot of reading on those windmills in the past few days, thanks to X. But yeah, I thought they were a good idea, and then the more I read into it, I got kind of mixed reviews online. Just so,
Yeah, it's,
so I have the Yeti 500 up. So if you wanted to kind of explain,
yes, I love the Yeti 5 we take this camping. So what I tell people is, if you wanna know what you need when you don't have your normal amenities,
hmm
is go camping. Go camping and see what you miss. Um,
sorry, I'm totally meant to mute this.
no, you're totally fine.
Sorry.
There's kinda some great graphics there, I like them. Um, I tell people to go camping because you're like you don't have what you're normally used to having, especially if you've never been camping.
hmm
And so you're like, "Oh, I can't charge my phone so easily," or "I can't, I miss X,"
Right.
or, "I need to see what's going on YouTube," whatever it may be. "I need to call my mom." You wanna be able to charge some things. Also, we can light up we can put those, like, string lights up
hmm
around our camp, and
Are those the ones that are solar powered, or
no, well, I do
oh,
have
you can just plug it into
you
the
can plug
yeah.
it in.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
plug I do need to get the solar powered ones, it would make it a lot easier. But, I can put all sorts of things. My husband sleeps with a CPAP machine,
hmm
and that's something people need to remember when you lose your power.
Right.
If you sleep with a CPAP machine, you need power.
hmm
And so we have to have that. That's actually the number one reason we got that is because he needed to be able to plug his machine into sleep. And so it's everyone's situation is so different.
Right.
Um so that's power is huge. Having a generator, everyone would love to have a Generac in their home. Unfortunately, those are very, very expensive.
Is
The
that
Generac, you can find a Generac that's just like a gas generated Generac, like it's a generator. But then they have the home ones where they come in and they install it so that your heater, like, so if like your power kicks off on your house,
hmm
it automatically goes to, I don't have it on there because you have to, well, that is a Generac right there,
hmm
but that's just like a gas one.
So
But there's an actual system. They have it
I may be stupid to this, but if it's a gas one, do you need
extra gas. No, you need extra gasoline. So you have to make sure. So that's the thing is that like I always keep for each vehicle that I have, I keep an extra 20 gallons of gas.
So like actual gasoline from like the
actual gasoline.
Okay.
And if you're going to be storing it, I will tell you, Shell gas at the highest octane that you can get. You want to store that because
where would you store it?
Well, we have an outdoor shed.
Okay.
That is not in my garage, but it is pretty adjacent to my house. So, you know.
Okay, so if people don't have that, where would you stay? Like say,
that's the problem.
I guess you would need if you're in an apartment, but I guess you kind of could if you feel how you're.
Well, you know, that's the thing is everyone's situation is going to be different. Like either you would leave, you know, and go to someone's house, maybe.
Yeah.
Or you would, you know, every situation is going to be very different.
Absolutely. I've had the power go off in apartments before, and because everybody's shit is all together, it's like if you don't have your own thing going on, then you know it's kind of like you're kind of just like.
And so I would say if you're in an apartment, you want to have like one of those generators that are chargeable. You know, they have, and they actually make solar generators.
Did we add one of those?
I don't know if we added one or not. Oh, there it is, right there. You're right on it. Okay. That's it. So it's small. It's probably not going to
charge for long, but if you're in a situation, I don't think in your right mind you should be thinking, oh, we're gonna be able to keep this running for the next 2 or 3 days. That I would personally say, but
right. And you're also not going to probably run your refrigerator off of that, if I had to guess.
So in that situation, because that's a good thing, because we're talking about electricity, right? At this point, that being the first step to usually what happens in some kind of shit happens world, right? So I feel like the only time we did crazy stuff was like if it was already snow outside, we'd take like the meat and like put it outside. But like, what would you do? You just have to say fuck the food, you know?
So what I would do if I'm in that situation, not everyone has this either, but I have, you know, a gas grill. I'm going to cook it all. I'm going to cook all of that.
You're not going to lose the meat, huh?
I'm cooking all of it. And I'm at a minimum, I'll be able to eat. I'll be able to put it in a cooler. Like, and I'll tell you why I would be able to put it. For me, I would be able to put it in a cooler because so when we get to the water portion of things, I keep at least, I think I have 7 gallons of water that I keep frozen in my freezer. So that if the power goes out, it helps to keep my freezer cold.
I see Ganja just said partly cloudy, the solar will not provide a good charge. I never think about the clouds. You're right. So
yes, exactly.
So do you keep it pre-charged, and does it lose charge if it's just sitting around, or?
It does lose charge when it just sits around. So you have to maintain things. It's not easy to do. Like I go out to my garage and I take the thing out and I will charge it here and there. Now it doesn't lose that much of a charge. Like you'll still have some charge in there, but it does lose some charge. Absolutely.
So it's something that if every day you kind of make it a habit to, hey, let me check, you know, I would, but that's just the OCD in me. Like if I had all these different gadgets, I would every day make that a part of my routine. Hey, either plug it in the wall or, you know, I don't know if it's sunny outside, sit it outside or whatnot. And this may be a stupid fucking question, but this is a stupid question. I'm going to ask it anyway because I don't know the answer. So if it's sunny outside and you're talking about charging solar things, do you charge these things like outside, or would the sunlight from the window come in? I know again it sounds like
it's a little bit of the sunlight from the window would come in, but you'd want to put it outside. I mean, that would be ideal.
That's just my question, because I'm like, what if, you know, you lived in a a urban neighborhood or something like
Right.
that, sitting things outside may get stolen, you know? I mean, that
Right.
happens everywhere, not to just say it's urban, but that's where the fuck I'm from. I'm from the hood. So you sit shit outside, it's gonna get stolen. So what would you tell people to to I guess you can, because that's why I was asking about the window. Again, that's why I felt like it was a stupid question, but I tried
No,
to.
you put it in the brightest window you can. It'll get what it can get. It's not gonna be it might not be like ideal, but at least it's getting something,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I mean,
You also
I
need
think so.
to have your phone plugged into a solar battery pack in the sun because the pack.
Yep, we have that on there.
Okay, let me go over to that portion of the.
Yeah, those solar, we were talking about that yesterday. Those solar power ports, they're amazing. I love them. Right there.
This one?
The one you have.
Oh, yes. Okay. Thanks to my Twitter followers, this is the one that I have. Yes, yes. And it works.
I love it.
It fucking works.
And you told me about that yesterday, and I didn't even know that existed.
Yes, I'm talking about. You know,
I ordered one. It'll be here tomorrow.
I'm gonna bring it. Hold on, I'll be right
back.
back.
Yeah, go get it, please, because I did not know that this existed. I haven't looked at all the new gadgets that are out there, and so when she showed me this yesterday, I was like, "This is amazing." Because communication, you want to be able to call and check on your mom. You want to be able to call and check on your dad or your cousin or whomever it might be. And so to me, this was just an absolutely amazing thing that you can buy for only $30. Yeah, that's awesome.
So this one in particular has all three. Okay, so you have your iPhone charger here that you just pull out and you can charge your iPhone on it. You have your.
Hey, give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back. It's just 30 seconds.
Your USB-C charger, I guess this was Android charger, new iPhones, whatever. And then this one, I haven't quite figured out what this is or what this charges to, but there's this charger. And then you have the solar powered interface right here. But this also has the flashlight on here. So not only are you able to charge your devices, but you have a flashlight. And so this flashlight also does something else. Again, I'm learning with you guys, like I said. So this, you press it again, and it does this thing that I'd like to say is like Morse code, but I'm not 100% sure.
It is actually.
Then it has lights to tell you if it's fully charged or not. So this is not the exact same one that's on the screen, but I'm sure it has the exact same functions. And then this right here I'm so stupid with this camera. This has the different things that you can charge it with. So I normally just charge it in the wall with a Android charger, and I keep this with me all the time because, as the title says, shit happens. So it works, and it fully charges. So I've been able to charge my iPhone full twice off of this, as well as my Android phone. So that's 3 phones charging, and they fully charge from 0. So AJ said, you don't want to charge it while charging your phone at the same time. Facts. They're great though, and long battery life. I charged my phone 2 times. Hi Jay. Hi everybody. Thank everybody that's tuning in. We have 58 people tuning in between X and YouTube, and then Vega's also streaming this on her YouTube. So if you guys can go over to her YouTube, Vague Ambiguous is the actual name that you would search. So Vague Ambiguous, search it, go follow her. Let's get her number. I'm sorry. Go subscribe to her. I told you I was going to say that by accident. So go subscribe to her. And then just tune in with us. We have a lot of things planned for you guys this year. I'd say at the top of the year, we're going to keep planning other things, but we have a lot going on for you guys. We are on step 1. What happens when electricity goes out? Because that's the first thing that happens generally when we talk about shit happening in like natural disasters or just regular emergencies. So right now we're just talking about various items that you may want to have on deck with you. Right now, Vega was speaking about the generator. So what you see on your screen right now, if you're just tuning in, That's one of these. That's a solar powered charger that you can also charge in the wall with, I guess, the AC/DC charge, whatever you call that. But she was also speaking about this generator right here. This one is a smaller version. It's 229, but you can have other versions of this. But if you want to search, just always search for a solar generator, right? But then she was also speaking about this big baby right here called the Yeti 500. And as you can see, you have all the adapters and outlets that you need, what you're able to pair to. So I think that she's getting us on the right track. We can go ahead and continue.
Yeah. So the generators, like I said, are super important. Obviously, you're gonna want some flashlights. Lots of. When I tell you, if you don't get a flashlight for Christmas in our family, you've done something wrong. Because we all
get solar powered flashlights on here.
Yes, you can thank AJ for that because I didn't even know that they existed.
Thank you, AJ. That's awesome. These are pretty cool. I didn't know they existed either.
What they have come out with on the solar is pretty neat. I mean, like I did not realize. Also, you can think for the 8-hour and like 12-hour candles because yeah, those are 8-hour and 12-hour candles.
Wow.
I had no idea that I mean, mine just go out in a day. So I have like packs of them and that's really neat. And from what I understand, you can get them from the dollar store also. So that's pretty cool.
That's good to note. I didn't know that. I know that Dollar Tree and Five Below are carrying some of the most outrageous things that I would never think I'd see at a dollar store or Dollar General or something like that. So to know that these may be there, that's pretty awesome, especially for people that are on a budget because everybody may not have, $25 to go to Amazon. So to know that you can, she said she gets hers from the Dollar Tree. So like I said, Dollar Tree has everything you need. So if you can't,
I love the Dollar Tree.
You can't get to say like a Home Depot or something like that. Go to Dollar Tree, go to Five Below. I would never suggest Dollar General, but Dollar Tree is your go-to. And I appreciate AJ for stating that. So I think that's what I didn't know that they had 12-hour candles. I thought those were just like tall candles with,
right. I thought the bigger that they were, then okay, you'll get more out of it. But I didn't realize that there were longer burning candles. And hey, my dad is probably rolling over in his grave. Like, why the hell did I know that?
I don't even know how long those have been out. But AJ, thank you, sweetie, for putting that on the list. That's awesome. To have that, it's a 20-pack, so it'll last you for a couple days. And like I said, all these disasters happening, you gotta get rid. Tactical.
Okay, so that's actually a cheap price for 2,000 lumen flashlight.
I don't know what lumen means. What is that?
So the higher the number of lumens, the brighter it is.
Okay.
I mean, like blinding bright. 2,000 lumens is pretty blinding. I mean, 8,000.
I also mentioned the lights on the headlight thing.
Oh my gosh, headlights are amazing. Because you want to be hands-free. A lot of times you're looking for something, you want your hands to be available to find it. So you have it on your head. My husband wears one. I swear to you, he just wears it as like it may be a divorce situation, actually. It isn't. It's as bad as shoes. So if you can't wear bad shoes. So anyhow, he wears one all the time. I mean,
this one's only $15.
It's so not bad. And look at the lumens.
You're right. 20,000.
Well, I think that's a mistake. I've never seen a 20,000 lumens.
A lot of people
maybe though
think that a lot of times this preparedness stuff is expensive. So that's what a lot of people, think. I know I thought that, and I've talked to some people that think the same. But when you go and actually exert the effort to research and go check, a lot of this stuff, and like we were talking about yesterday, it's like you don't have to get everything at once. You can, like start with the basics, like actually having flashlights that work. And we're talking about lumens. We're not talking about flashlights you throw batteries in and cut it on. We're talking about lumens now with very brightness. And I definitely think that these headlights are definitely important when you want to be hands free. If there's a flood, you don't want to be walking around with a flashlight in your hand trying to figure things out.
No, absolutely not. And I'll tell you there's two other things I really, really love is a magnetic light. So I have several of them and I can stick it to my refrigerator and my kitchen lights up.
Hold on. Y'all know me. I'm going to go grab it for you guys.
And I don't know if I put it. Did I put any on there? I don't know. Hopefully. I think I forgot. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
No, I'm gonna
like I said, there's gonna be things that I'm like remembering that as I go. I'm gonna.
It's okay, and that's why I'm grabbing it as we go.
Yeah, any magnetic light is great because what I like to do with them is I'll put it on appliances around my kitchen because I'm trying to see to find a pot or a pan or whatever I need to find. Or if you have to fix something in your car, like let's say you have to put the hood up, you can put it to the hood. You can attach it to the hood. It just magnetically goes onto it. And then it will light up your, what you're trying to look for. So I love magnetic lights. They're one of my favorites.
They had they were like white, and maybe somebody in a chat or somebody that's on X can understand. So it used to be where like it had like a little light thing and you would tap it. I don't know what they were called, but
oh my gosh. What were they called? I forgot the commercial.
I did too. They used to come in like packs like 3 or 5 or something like that. And
I know what you mean.
But it wasn't magnetic. It was that stupid ass sticky adhesive shit.
Yeah.
Like, yes, those. You just
That's hilarious.
I like the magnetic ones because you can take it off and keep going. Those other lights that I'm talking about, you would stick, and that's where the hell it was gonna stick. You weren't moving it. So I think that's definitely something. Because even so, we're talking about regular rolling blackouts. We're talking about tornadoes, hurricanes, blizzards, anything. Your lights will likely be the first thing to go out. So you want to make sure that you don't want to be dark. Being in the dark.
I will tell you the other thing that I love of a flashlight, because we're a total flashlight family, is my husband just got for Christmas a beanie that has light on it. I mean, he just puts the beanie on. So if it's cold, it has a light on the front of it. And it's a hoodie. Wow. It's a beanie.
Wow.
And it's amazing. I wish I could. I don't have a camera. One day I'll be able to afford a camera, guys.
Let me go find that. We say Amazon has everything. I don't know if anybody knows that, but Amazon has everything. Yeah, it's right there. Oh, that's awesome. That's crazy. Okay. This is interesting. Let's see.
He was wearing it because we had that cold snap last week. And so we had a day it said it was like, I don't know, like 22 or something like that, which for us, where I'm from, that's not normal. And
not at all.
Although it feels like it's becoming normal.
It's like Atlanta being 30 and 20 degrees all the time.
Right. Well, and remember, like if you're from, I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you're in this area or actually anywhere in the United States, starting about next Monday, it's supposed to get cold.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be 8 in Chicago on Sunday.
Yeah, it's supposed to get cold. Yeah.
So yeah, this hat is pretty cool. I didn't even think this was
and it's a lot. What are the lumens on that? I don't even see. But I don't know which one my husband has, but it was like bright. I was pretty impressed.
Now you got me the lumen thing. I'm like,
I know lumens are important. At least it's not like the Kelvins.
It just says like LED lights. Look at me scrolling down. Giving y'all free promo, Amazon.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly. Amazon should be so thankful.
Oh goodness. But that's great. Let's see. And then we're talking about like equipment failure. So like what happens or what type of things could happen.
So you could have like, well, I think equipment failure on here is like we're talking about why in this situation where I wrote that is why there might be.
Mm-hmm. These are things that people should check often, but most people don't, because what did I say earlier? Most people are complacent and comfortable. And a lot of people always think it could never happen to me, or it's not going to happen to me, or, oh, I live in a place where this couldn't happen, or, because no one wants to talk about the climate changing. Notice I didn't say climate change. The climate is simply changing. And
Right.
people just kind of ignore it. And then when something happens, and I'm about to sound so insensitive, so forgive me, viewers, for what I'm going to say, but it's like, oh no, what do we do? Or, it's like, I don't know. People always think that it could never happen to them until it
Yeah,
happens.
you're living in an ambiguous world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is that being aware is being prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And being aware of your weather, being aware of like what's happening around you in any capacity is very important. I mean, we'll get further. I could go. Weapons are actually one of my most
Can't wait
favorite things,
that
but we
part.
will get there. We'll get there. We
But
will
when
get
we get to
there.
the weaponry, I'm excited about that.
I love me some of that. But that's a different day, a different
Yes.
program.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So I hold on, I'm trying to think of what I was trying to think about. Accidents sometimes, like car accidents,
Mm-hmm.
they have like a lot to do with like hit a pole. There's so many different ways that the power could go out. It doesn't even matter. Honestly, it's earthquakes, tornadoes, all of the things that can put you in a bind.
Mm-hmm.
Grid issues, which I quite frankly
goes down there. Y'all,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think, what is it like? Y'all, electricity is on its own
Yes.
grid or
Yeah,
something.
I don't know. I really should know. And you know what? Thank you for saying that, because again, as much as I do know about emergency preparedness, and I have like files and files of things,
Mm-hmm.
and I have lots of preparedness stuff, like we all do. We all literally you have to practice what you preach.
Yeah.
And I have gotten complacent
Mm.
because it's easier to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
It's comfortable.
It's very comfortable to not have to think about it. And so when we started talking about this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really need to button up. I really need to button up, because not only do I need to just remember what I need to know, but I need to be organized about it.
Mm-hmm.
Organization is probably your biggest thing. Like, people buy and buy and buy and hoard and hoard and hoard.
Mm-hmm.
And we are a community of, commerce. I don't know. We like to buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then where do we put it? Do we know where it's at? Do you know how to access
when
it?
that shit happens, are you ready?
Are you like frantically looking for something? I mean, yeah, that closet that you just throw everything in, one day you'll get to it. But if that has all your emergency preparedness stuff in it, and you're like, oh, here's some old underwear, and here's some canned goods. Why are those in there? Oh, here's like, some electric, like here's some cords to the camera I used to have. Whatever it may be, have it organized so that in a bind you can find it. You're going to be stressed out. We were so stressed out for those 3 days.
Things, and if you haven't done anything with those things in 3 months, toss it out. That way you make room for everything. I have a 3-month rule. That's for like just everything. It's like, if I then I likely don't need it, right? But when we're talking about preparedness, I think once a month, whether you are solo or single or have a family or have a big family, I think once a month one should go through an actual plan. Like, okay,
Yes.
so okay, so if there's a fire, where are we meeting up outside the house so we're not scrambling for each other? Or if there's a flood, do we know how to get to the roof of our building? Or what are we going to do if that happens? Or the roof of our house? Or where do we go? And I think a lot of people don't plan that. So then when stuff does happen, it's like whatever. Like back in the day, we used to have fire drills in school. Every house or home or whatever you like to call it, a shelter, whatever, needs to have a drill. Like you just have to, or you're gonna. And again, I sound so insensitive when I talk, but you're gonna look crazy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be
Oh,
warm.
power tools.
To do, and then that's how people die. Like I'm just being. That's how people die. You die in chaos.
Yeah. And actually, I just thought of this. I didn't even think about it. AJ's gonna love me for this one. Your power tools that you have that have batteries, keep your batteries charged. You have keep the. I just thought about that. Keep those batteries charged because.
So are we talking about rechargeable batteries?
So I would. Gosh darn it! I really need. I'm gonna get money one day. I'm gonna have a camera. I would totally show you guys. So I have a Milwaukee, and it's a tool.
Okay.
It's a power tool. You can get it at Home Depot. There you go, Home Depot. And it has like an M18 or an M12, depending on which system you have.
Okay.
And you might need a screwdriver or impact drill. You might need that stuff. Sawzall. I don't know. But like when stuff starts coming down because power outage for me at least, tornado stuff, even tornadic winds. We might not get the touchdown, but we get the winds. And so I've had trees down. They've taken out playgrounds, in our backyard.
Right now, those tornadoes are nationwide. Like it's not. We have Tornado Alley. It's like that's not the same anymore. It's everywhere.
It's so strange. And so like we've had to like cut it out, and like I have a saw, or like I honestly have never used it. So I've got
one day you will. Let's not talk it up though.
Well, and we might. And so my husband, who I love dearly, he's very pretty. He's very pretty. He likes to read.
Oh.
No, he's a great man. He leaves all of the power tool stuff up to me. So,
really? So you're Wonder Woman.
Oh, I love my power tools.
Awesome.
And when we had the 3 days of no power, dude, homeboy like snapped into like, I'm a man. Okay, he's gonna hear this. I don't mean it like that. He really is.
I got it.
He is a man, and he is the most special person in my whole entire life.
Tell him I said hello.
Oh, he loves you. And so, no, he became a forager. He was like, I gotta go foraging because we didn't have as much wood as we thought we were gonna have.
And you guys live near like a wooded area so that it's easy.
We have a couple. Yes, we do have a couple wooded areas, and so he's like, he went and got like a hacksaw, and like he's like getting stuff, and so it was so he
snaps into it. It's a lot of men out there that
I thought he was so pretty that he couldn't like, that wasn't his thing. But let me tell you, it sure as heck was, because he took care of our family. I mean, he went out there, put the shoes on and boots on, and he was out in the forest, and he was like grabbing us firewood. I mean, we had a cord, but which is a lot, but we were going through so much with no power for 3 days that we were like, it almost went on for 4. And I don't know how many people know, I have an autistic son who does not eat well, and his lips started to turn purple, and he was just so cold. We were putting all the clothes on him we could, and it was getting, at the time, it was getting bad. And so it was pretty awesome though. Like it really brought our whole neighborhood together in a strange way. But I guess we can move on from the power. We can go to water. Water is definitely your like second.
Did I miss it? Yeah,
No.
Oh, here we go. Do we want to do water now or do we want to come back?
I think we should probably come back because I told you, I said, this is like emergency preparedness is big. Like,
Right.
there's a lot to know. I will say without power and stuff like that, and I will say, no matter what, everyone does have flashlights, have some power for your phones to communicate.
And you would think this is basic stuff, but a lot. I
It
know some
is.
people may be watching this like everybody should, but everybody doesn't. Everybody doesn't
No, like
have
ask
those things.
yourself, where are all your flashlights? Ask yourself,
Right
where
now,
are all your
right
flashlights
now. Your
right
life
now?
right now.
Where would you find them if it was completely dark and it was right now that the power went out and you needed it? Where would you find all your flashlights? Oh, I have a flashlight over here somewhere. No, where are all your flashlights? And also,
Are your
do
things
you have first aid? Do you have a first aid kit? We're not getting to first aid yet, and I'll get there later. But I'm going to tell you that I will not leave here without telling everyone to have a first aid kit. That's my number one thing. Have a first aid kit.
Just because. Let's do that. I'll put the this one up there. Let's do this. Bear with me, guys. I'm still learning streaming. I don't stream enough to have this down packed yet.
I'm just glad you're doing it, not me. I don't know how to do any of it.
But here we have this one, and it seems pricey, guys, but it comes with so much stuff that I feel like it's necessary. They're all smaller ones that you can grab from Walmart, which I think everybody should have. They'll cost you about some as cheap as 10, then they go up to like as you can see the hundreds and thousands or whatever. But I think that this one off Amazon is definitely with the way these natural disasters are coming back to back to back to back to back. You know, no matter where you live in the United States, whether it's north, south, east, west, Midwest, there's everything is happening. It just in general, shit happens, right? That's the title of this segment. Shit happens. So whether your kids are out at the park, anything can happen. I'm with Vague on saying that having a first aid kit is like number one. I'm a little, I guess, bougie, but I carry it's a first aid kit like this big, and I put it in my bag anytime I go anywhere. So it's like, I definitely think that everybody should have that at their home. I see Ganja said, do you have a bug out bag?
We're going to get to bug out bags because those are my favorite.
What is that?
A bug out bag?
Yes.
Well, I don't know which one she means. There's two different kind of bug out bags.
Okay.
And this is something I was going to hit on. This is when you need to leave your home.
Okay.
If you need to leave your home, you should have a bag that is packed and it has everything you need in it. In the sense of, I have tennis shoes. I have a parka, depending on the season. I change mine out every season.
Okay.
So, you know, a hat, what kind of hat? I might have a beanie in the winter. I have different, I'll have like some, you know, undergarments, you know, that I put underneath my clothes. I'll have all sorts of different things in my bug out bag. My bug out bag is a little different than most people's bug out bags.
Unless you're saying have extra medication in there.
So, always. And that's something I'm so glad that you just said that, because another thing, even with power going out, please remember to get your prescriptions filled on time, because being without your prescriptions can be horrible for your mental health, horrible for your heart, horrible for your blood pressure, whatever it may be. Please remember to get them filled on time and try somehow. There was a day when your doctor would give you like an extra 15 pills.
Not anymore.
Oh, not anymore. No. and it's I think it's ridiculous, because like they need to realize that you should have a 30-day extra, you know, in your first aid kit or in your bug out bag. My bug out bag looks a lot different, and that's why I wanted to hit that later, because everybody's bug out bag is going to look very different. Mine is Mine is like I have a lot of ammo and like I have things that not everybody wants to have in theirs.
Weaponry. We'll definitely touch on that.
Yeah, we can touch on that later.
Okay. Well, you guys, you have tuned in to the very first segment of Shit Happens. We have quite a few more segments because we have a lot to get to. Today was just the electricity and what happens when that goes out. But Vague and I, specifically Vague, let me give her the praise for getting this together for us because, like I said, I'm learning with you guys. She may live in a house, I live in an apartment. But I think this spreads out across all avenues. Whether you have money, don't have money, whether you live in a house, an apartment, I think that all of these different techniques and these different things that you can purchase, these are things that you don't need a big space for. I say, even just a small, they have those totes, and you can start collecting your items and putting your items in there. I see Ganja says she keeps all her documents in one. So guess what? She just made me want to do. I want to go copy a lot of documents I have that can't be copied where you don't need the fresh copy, and I want to put them in a Ziploc bag because I was watching World's Toughest Race, and they had these bags where you can, and they were like in water and everything, and nothing got wet. So I think I'm gonna go get some of those bags and put stuff in those bags, birth certificate, things like that. That is a great idea, Gotcha, to have.
That is a really good idea.
Time to run. Like, say you were in the fires like that just happened in California, right? And it was time to go, and you weren't able to grab much. Do you have those items ready to go to run out the door if something happens? You could just grab a bag, grab a box. I don't care whether you have a car, bike, on your feet. Are you able to grab those things and leave? Do you have your medications in those bags? Or if something happens, are you having to grab for everything? When we get to things next week, I would like to say next week, when we get to next week, and we're able to talk about the water filtration, all those different things, these are things that you need to have. And so we hope to prepare you guys for if shit happens, and so that's what we're going to be doing here. And I thank you, Vague, for coming aboard, and we putting this together, and things that we have planned, for in-person things in the future for different classes and things. So we're going to start out just small, and I thank you guys for tuning in with us on X, on YouTube, and hope you stay tuned. Subscribe. If you're on X, follow me or follow Vague. She's at V_ambiguous, if I'm not mistaken. I will actually.
I don't even know.
Screen. No,
I don't even know.
I'm gonna add
That's a different. Horrible. I'm so bad.
At V_M.
Oh, on my Twitter, yeah.
And then if you want to,
how horrible is that I don't even know my own handle names.
So you find her at V_ambiguous on, I believe I spelled that right. I'm a little fake illiterate, but I think that's right. And then if you
perfect
her or subscribe, I'm learning this whole streaming world. So if you want to subscribe to her on YouTube, it is one word, Vague Ambiguous. One word, Vague Ambiguous. Same profile picture you see here, you will see there. And be sure to get her subscribers up. Let's get her to at least 100 right now. We're on the road to 100 for you, 1,000 for me. Let's just get us all these subscribers. So
yes, let's get her to 1,000.
Not for money. We're here to help educate you guys. We're also learning together. So it's not just about her or me. It's about us as a community. So again, I thank you guys for tuning in. You're gonna hear a little music as the outro. So if you want to listen to it, I wrote that song. Just
she wrote it. She wrote it. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love it.
Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Empress, and we will holler back at you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Everything from me, gotta earn my respect. Motherfuckers crazy. Do anything for a check. Spirit is my guide, keep my ego in check. Ain't seeking no validation, I do this on my own. Got a team though when I'm not home. Still gon' ride even when I'm gone. Went out to Cali, didn't sell my soul. Close my eyes, meditate, I was on a roll. Now I take my time, it's chestnut checkers, queen shit. Negotiate everything, nothing lesser.